So today, I'm doing my sportography, and it was really nice to sit back and reflect and just think about things in the past that I've gone through playing sports and things that I may be encountering in the future with sport. And so it was really nice sitting back to reflect and really look back on these memories that I've had, whether it's with family, friends, the different teams I played for, stuff like that. So I'm going to jump right into my personal experiences. Um, so I'm going to start with me starting football at an early age. I started in third grade, but it really started much before that. My dad, he had grown up playing football in Texas, and so down there, football is king. And so, I mean, that's what's accepted. I mean, if you don't play football, I mean, are you really from Texas? But anyways, so I was playing football video games before I even started playing football. I was playing catch with my dad and other family members, so I was always around the game. We were always watching it on Sundays or Saturdays. We were watching Tennessee play, and so I started that in third grade. Played through my ninth grade year. Ended up not playing after my ninth grade year due to multiple reasons. I mean, I had two injuries my ninth grade year, and just kind of really felt burnt out on it. I didn't feel like I had a drive to play it anymore. I knew I wasn't the best. I knew I wasn't the fastest. I knew all I really had to give was heart and motivation and drive. And so at that point, I just kind of decided that it wasn't for me anymore. And going into that, so an example I have with my ninth grade year, I came in into spring training, very first practice of the year. This is while I'm in eighth grade, getting ready for ninth grade football and for the next year. So it's spring training. All we're doing is lifting and working out and just doing conditioning. And so the first day of practice, I walk up to introduce myself to the coach, Coach Nelson, and out at Arlington High School, and he asked me what position I played. And in the past, I had played quarterback. When I was younger, I'd played some defensive end, but primarily the last 3 or 4 years leading up to that point, I had played quarterback. So I told him that's the position that I played. Um, and once I told him that, the first thing he said to me was that, well, we're going to have to find you a new position. We already have a quarterback. And to me, that was a real heartbreaker. It kind of set the tone for me. It was upsetting, but it kind of set the tone for me. Talking about high school sports. Unfortunately, I was never given the chance. He had decided from day one who his quarterback was. Yeah, he had seen him throw, he had seen him play before, but he had never seen me play before. And so I just really lost all motivation at that point. I don't blame it all on him. I mean, part of it was I suffered some injuries. I broke my ankle during the summer in a non-football injury. I sat out all summer, um, rehabbed for it for 2 weeks, and I came back on a Monday. And on Wednesday, I ended up breaking my arm and having surgery. So that whole year was a real letdown. I couldn't do anything physically the whole year after having arm surgery. So at that point, I just decided that football, it just wasn't for me anymore. Um, Other than that, I played some basketball, played some AAU ball going into junior and senior year, and ended up making it to the Division III level, where I come with this next example. It was my first game with Covenant College against Bryan College. Um, it's about Covenant's right outside of Chattanooga and Lookout Mountain, Georgia. But anyways, in my first game, we're in the first half, probably 5 or 10 minutes in, and there was a out of bounds call made. I was the one that had tipped it, but the ref had called it out on another player. And at that moment, I was stuck with the decision: do I need to tell the ref if I hit it out, or do we keep going so we can try to get a bucket? And I decided, tell the ref, hey ref, it was out on me. It should be their ball. He ended up reversing the call after that, and Looking back on it, I didn't know it at the time, but it was a form of underconformity, going against what would normally be accepted or wanted from an athlete to do in that situation. Although my teammates weren't mad at me or anything like that. They respected my decision, respected that I was using integrity, and that was one of our values as a team, is to use integrity on and off the floor. And ultimately, I decided it was best that I show that and embody those values that we have as a team. Um, Moving on, I'm going to talk about some key moments, some things that really touched me, positive and negative. I'm going to talk about, well, I'll just start right now with a comeback win, a good thing. So, my senior year, we were playing in a tournament out in Collierville. It was hosted by the Collierville Dragons. I guess they have like a travel team or something that was hosting the tournament. But anyways, we played them. They had school, Cooper Max, which is a Jewish school here in Memphis, was in it. So it was some pretty good competition. But anyways, in the last play-in game, the last pool game we played against Collierville, we were down by 4 with about 20 seconds left, so we foul in a 1-and-1 situation and send them to the free throw line. They missed the front end of the 1-and-1, and we grabbed the rebound. So we're coming down in transition, trying to get an easy bucket real quick so that we can turn around right again and foul. But anyways, as we're driving down in transition, I'm trailing at the wing, call for the ball. Felt like it was my team, my responsibility to put the team on my back, and I really wanted that shot. And the ball was kicked out to me for a transition 3, which I made, and then we called a timeout. And then on that next possession, I ended up drawing a charge. While the ball was trying to be inbounded, went to the free throw line in a 1-and-1 situation and made both of them. So that was a huge game. That was my first tournament of my senior year, and it was a lot of fun. That was the first time I had ever kind of willed my team to a win, and so it was really a good thing for me. It was a confidence booster and helped me out throughout the rest of the year. Another one I want to talk about is my loss. Again, my senior year, but this time it was in February. I was playing in a church league up at Bellevue Baptist Church. We weren't the best team in the league. We were like the 4 or 5 seed coming in, and we ended up making it to the championship. Upon making it to the championship, at the end of the game, we're down by 3 points with about 20 or 30 seconds. I have the ball. I'm driving in. I had a good game going in there, so I had forced the defense to collapse, kicked it out. We hit a 3, tie it up. We're excited. We're jumping. I at the time didn't realize how much time was left, so they inbound the ball with about 5 seconds left, come down, dribble between us, put up a half-court shot, and bank it in. And that was a tough loss. Not only because it was a half-court shot, but because we had worked so hard throughout the playoffs on our hot streak, and it was really heartbreaking to see it end the way that it did. But looking into the future and what I'm doing with sport, right now I have a AAU basketball program here in Memphis that I started this past year, and I'm just trying to build on that. Right now I'm trying to get into the coaching field. Ultimately, I want to make it to the college level by the time I'm done, but that's going to take some work, and so right now I'm just trying to build my resume, get the experience I need. I had 8th and 9th grade teams this past summer, 2 separate teams. My 8th grade team, we didn't do too well at nationals. All of our games were within 4 points. Our biggest loss at nationals was 4 points. So that was an eye opener for us to let us know that we just got some little things that we got to work on before we turn those 4 or 5 losses into maybe 3 or 4 wins during that weekend. In my 9th grade team, we ended up finishing the top 8 out of 20 teams, which was really good. That was good for us to kind of end the year on that positive note, finishing in the top 10 like we did. Our goal was to come in and just win a couple games, and that goal quickly turned from winning a couple games to okay, well we have a chance to compete here, and so that's basically what I'm working towards right now, and I hope that we can build on it going into the next summer. But anyways, I know I'm going a little over time, but I just kind of want to show off our team's jerseys. We just got these. We got the Memphis skyline here in the back. The Memphis Rise is our name. We got 901 repping the city of Memphis on our sleeves. We got the sleeve jerseys. Now show you what the back looks like. But other than that, I'm just trying to continue to build and show the youth the way that we need to go, and the way that they need to continue to build and just learn and just be better than they were the day before. My name's Taylor, and this is my Sportography.